Hello and welcome back, and the newest season of The Challenge Season 37, Spies, Lies, and Allies is quickly approaching and will premiere very, very soon. Now, I have watched every single promo, the trailer, I even watched all of the live aftermath casting special multiple times, trying to get as much information as I can. Mix that with the multiple breakdowns that I've done of every single clip that they have given us. Somebody's crying.
Nailed it.
And now I want to try my hand at trying to predict what we can expect from the upcoming season and some of the competitors that are going to be on this season. Now, I spent multiple hours rewatching the trailer, the clips, the promos. I even went in there and timed everybody speaking in the promos to see who got the most screen time in case somehow that factors into how much we could see of them coming into the season. I have a whole bunch of different statistics. And so without further ado, let's start off with how I think night one is going to start. And I think it's going to start with the US contestants and the international contestants coming in separately. We see in the trailers and even the sneak peeks of the night one from the live aftermath special that the international players are walking in through the front door of the house. They're mainly staying in the living room eating. On the other side, we have the US contestants staying outside, and then they're getting all excited from something that is happening either on a TV screen or an announcement that is being said. Then something Kyle says in the live aftermath casting special had me thinking this was indeed the case.
The problem is for me is on the first night I came in with the new cast, and people will see that, and I didn't realize that we were all gonna be all right with each other, and that caused problems for me because I rallied everyone together and then I had to do some damage control.
Something else Kyle said was talking about deliberations.
Newbies, they all just popped off of each other. It was amazing.
So true.
We got into this thing. We got into this thing called deliberation, where we all decided stuff and that. I'm not going to spoil anything.
Good job.
That means I'm expecting this season's voting and how people are getting sent into the eliminations is almost exactly the same as what happened last season, where whoever won the challenge that episode will then be in the power and can send somebody into the elimination against whoever the house voted in from their deliberation and their secret voting. Another interesting thought that comes from hearing that the rookies are popping off on each other is that the rookies aren't necessarily working with each other. There might be like little alliance pockets through the rookies, but they aren't combining into one big threat for the vets. And from what we could hear from, say, Corey, when he talks about being outnumbered,
bro, we are outnumbered.
The soundbite from Ashley saying that the vets are in a power alliance.
All the vets are in the super alliance.
And then on top of that, Nani talking about wanting an alumni to win this season.
So help me God, if anybody other than like an alumni doesn't win this.
So it sounds like the vets are gonna be well off strategically working together, whereas the rookies may have more manpower, but they aren't necessarily working together, which won't help them very much against the vets who are banding together to take out the rookies.
You know, I think this season, I think it's safe to say that a lot of the vets will stick together and a lot of the rookies are going to crumble.
The format of the season seems like it's going to be a paired season where one US member is going to be paired up with an international member. And this worries me mainly for the US Survivor contestants because we hear from Ashley talking about Tommy in the first impressions video where she is talking about Tommy being a part of this bigger Survivor group.
Tommy is like the better looking West, and he's a lot nicer, but he's also part of this big Survivor crew that we have in here this season, so I'm keeping my eyes on him.
Then in the Threats and Allies video, Casey is talking about how Michaela is her biggest threat in the game.
Love from Survivor.
Also, the Survivor competitors were brought up in the live aftermath casting special where Devin was talking about not liking players coming from all different countries or all different shows.
What were your feelings with all of these new Survivor peeps coming into the house? Like, were you already against a Survivor alliance?
Not a big new show on the challenge guy.
I think this is very much nerve-wracking, especially from the standpoint of the US Survivor players, as they have to be paired up with somebody from the international side. So if they're a US rookie with an international rookie, they are more likely going to be sent into the elimination first, rather than say a rookie vet combo or a vet combo. The only data I can take solace in is that Michaela is featured very heavily in the Meet the Rookies video and the singles video. She gets a ton of screen time in that, but on the other hand, we see very sparingly of Michelle, Michaela, and Tommy in any of the trailer, in any of the other shots of the challenges that are to come that we saw from the live aftermath special. What we see mainly from them is them in their very nice clothing on night one coming into the challenge house.
I mean, my type is anybody interested in me, so we'll see how that goes.
On the other hand, I feel that the international Survivor players are being talked about more favorably than, say, the US contestants.
I would say the people to look out for: Emmanuel, who's coming off a Survivor. He gives you Major Jordan vibe. You got Logan, who's a soccer star and who, you know, he almost won Survivor, and Emmy, who's a beast.
In the Meet the Rookies video, Logan gets a whopping 30 seconds.
He is a sight. He looks like a god. He looks like a beautiful Spanish god.
As well as Emmy getting a good amount of screen time in the Meet the Rookies and the single video. Also, Emmy and Amanda get singled out in the live aftermath special where Devin gave them a nice introduction.
So let's start with Emmanuel. Emmanuel is also a professional dancer, choreographer, and he performed on celebrity duets in Lebanon. Then we have Emmy, who is spicy, and she's a female rapper and singer. I told you, spicy.
And their own prompt question. Emmanuel was brought up in the Allies video by Devin as well.
Okay, what's Emmanuel willing to do for $1 million if he slept outside for 5.5 months for 50 grand?
Mix in a post or two of their own on the challenge Instagram, and I feel we have some standouts on the season. Speaking of a rookie standout, I think Tasha is going to be a very big standout on the season. She already has been, and the season hasn't even started.
And then on the girls' side, I don't know if you've heard of the Tasha Titans, but they're legit. Shout out to the Titans, man. You guys support your queen, and I love to see it.
She was brought up during the live aftermath.
Tasha and Esther coming in from Big Brother Nigeria. And I know Tasha comes with an army of fans. I have seen y'all. Tasha Titans.
Tasha, Esther, whoo, killers. I love them, trust me.
And she got some good screen time in the Meet the Rookies video. She also got her own post on the Challenge MTV Instagram, and if we look, Esther also got that same treatment as well. So with that information, my 5 rookie standouts that I feel like are gonna have an impact on this season and would definitely get a call for future seasons would be Tasha, Esther, Emmy, Emmanuel, and Logan. Now, something that may not matter as much because I don't know how this could factor into the screen time, but I took a look at the MTV Instagram account and who they are following. And when looking at that, they are following everybody on this cast except for 4 people. And those 4 people are Huey, Tommy, Ed, and Lauren. What is going on with Lauren? Because she is nowhere to be seen anywhere. She's not being featured on the Instagram. She wasn't featured in any of the promos. She wasn't seen in the trailer. The one time I did see her in a screen of the challenge was in the live aftermath casting special where everyone is sitting by the pool. I feel like that's an omen that we're not going to see much of her on the season. Speaking of which, I want to talk about a few players that I think that aren't going to make it very far within the season, and it's due mainly because I haven't seen them be featured in much of any of the screen grabs that I've been able to watch. First person I want to bring up I think is low-hanging fruit, but it is Anissa, because we do see her arm getting in a sling. I think she's going to get hurt early on in a challenge, and then she's going to be replaced via Amber, who we saw coming in from a Lamborghini to a challenge, which makes me want to talk about DQs for the season. I'm hoping we don't see a ton of them, but from the trailer, we know that there's at least 2 on the season. 1, because Amber's coming in as a replacement, and 2, we see Ed a ton. It's kind of crazy to see how many clips Ed is being featured in because he wasn't on the original cast, but he's like full front and center, and MTV just doesn't care that they're showing, oh yeah, Ed's on this season. Ed has to be coming in for a US player because Ed is from the US. He's gonna be coming in for a US player that is DQ'd on the season. Out of the 9 US male contestants, really 5 of them are eligible to be replaced by Ed because we don't see them a super ton, but honestly I think it either has to be Tommy, Fessy, or Jeremiah. They aren't featured much in any of the clips.
would you add to your and Corey's squad?
Oh, no question about it. Jeremiah. He wanted to join the crew, but I don't know if he has what it takes.
And even though he's athletic, I don't see him doing well in the challenge.
Other players that I don't think will make it very far into the season because we don't see much of them is Tracy. We only really see her twice, and one of them is in an elimination, which I feel is her actually leaving the game on this elimination because we don't see her in any other real clips or anything. Fessy is seen like in night one with his turtleneck, but other than that, not really seeing him. Ashley has been used very sparingly. Tori, I don't see her much. Renan is like a ghost, the same as Kels.
But another physical guy that I kind of wanted to get on the team, you
You're
know.
being greedy now. We said one.
Kels, but unfortunately, I don't know if he made the cut either.
Which really hurts me because I was coming in hoping to see Kels go very far into the season, but I just haven't seen him. And I think if he was beasting out, they would put him somewhere to show that he was beasting out. And Amber as well. Now Amber, again, isn't on the official cast list, but she is coming into the season, and they made it a point to show her coming into the season. But after that, I don't see her at all in any of the clips, and we see much more of Ed in the clips than we do see of Amber. And finally, let's talk about the players who I think is going to make it far into the season because we see them the most in everything. In the promos, in the Instagram posts, on the poster, they're the challenge profile pictures for their social media. Let's jump into it. The first one being Nelson. He is being featured everywhere. He is prominently in the trailer. He was in the live Aftermath casting special. He is front and center on the poster. He's been on multiple Instagram posts for the challenge. The same with CT and Corey. Corey is actually the profile picture for the challenge Instagram account. And the same with CT, who is on the poster and in a lot of the trailer and clips. The same with Devin, who I want to point out talked about how he was trying to learn some lessons from last season, and this season he came in implementing a different strategy, and he says that, in quote, "I think things worked out well for me."
But I needed to just bite my tongue, and I think it worked out well for me.
Big T is everywhere. She is the Facebook challenge profile picture. She is in a lot of the promos. She's on the live Aftermath casting special. She is everywhere, and I'm hoping that means that she is in the finals because she made it very, very far last season, and I would love to see her make it into the finals this season. The same with Amanda. She is everywhere, and I don't know if they are putting her front and center because this is her first season back after taking a little bit of a hiatus, or if she is making it far and that's why she is being put out up in front for the Challenge 37. The same with Nani. She is being called the house mom. She is in all the promos, the live Aftermath. She is the Challenge Twitter profile picture, and also the Challenge producers are really pushing her and Casey's relationship out in front.
This season, we're coming in together.
Nani.
Yeah.
You came in single.
Yeah.
Did you have your eye on anyone?
Yeah, of course I had my eye on somebody. I had my eye on Casey, obviously.
Coming into this season, I wonder how Casey's knee is doing. It looked really bad, her injury from last season in the finals, and for this to be such a quick turnaround, I was thinking, will Casey be able to really compete at a very high level? And then when the live Aftermath special came out, that's when I started seeing Casey more and more. Also, coming into the season, Casey has made it to the finals every single season, but coming into the season, I was wondering if she was going to have a target on her back because of everything that happened at the end where Fessy and her kind of like colluding with each other to become partners for the finals together, and then wondering how her knee was doing, but she's coming in and I'm seeing a lot more of her. But that is all the predictions that I have for this season. What do you think about everything that I laid out there? Let me know that in the comment section below. Who are you rooting for to make it far into the season? Who are you rooting against? And who is the dark horse of the season? Who do you think is being slept on but can make it very far into the season? To me, I think it could be Corey Lane. I haven't seen too much of him, but I haven't seen too little of him either. I think he's in that sweet spot where he could possibly make it far into the season. And my other pick is Bettina, who we see featured in the promos, and we see her more prevalent in some of the clips that we got from the live Aftermath special. But just like I said with Corey Lane, we don't get too much of her or too little, so I could see her doing well on the season. I just can't pinpoint exactly where. But we're gonna have to wait to see what's going to happen. But what do you think about anything and everything about the Challenge 37 before the premiere that's gonna happen on August 11th, August 9th for the Global Activation Episode 0? Let me know anything and everything you think about this season down in the comments section below. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be back really soon with more Challenge 37 content, more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.